Wi-Fi Learn. Today we can see the topic of properties of determinants. It is easy to solve the problems and the complicated problems can also be solved by using the properties. Okay. The first point is the determinants remains unaltered by changing its rows and columns and vice versa. That means the row of a determinant can be represented in a column wise also, but their Laplace expansion would be the same. For example, take a determinant. Here we are representing A1, A2, A3 in a column. If you take this column as a row in this determinant, it is represented as del dash. Whatever may be the determinant can be represented, but the Laplacian expansion would be same, where del and del dash will be same for changing the rows and changing the columns. Generally, rows and columns are represented as line. Okay. So, in forthcoming properties, if I use line, you consider that as a row or a column. Okay. Now, if two parallel lines of determinants are interchanged, then del as a numerical value same but changes the sign. The second property says that you are going to change the place of the lines. Lines in the sense you can change either a row or a column. Here I am interchanging the place of the B1 column. Since B1 is crossing C1 column, again it reaches the A1 column in this example. Right? It is interchanging the place, or the numerical value has been changed from the column 2 to column 1 by crossing column 3. Okay, a determinant value would be same but it changes the sign. So B1 already in the place of the minus value, right? You are changing that to an A1 by crossing C1 and A1. So the sign of the B1 would be changed to positive here. Obviously, your determinant value will be changed in the sign. Since it is crossing the two columns, your sign must be multiplied by 2. If you are crossing for m number of lines or m number of columns or m number of rows, your sign would be changed as minus 1 power m into del. Okay. Now we can see the third property. A determinant vanishes if two parallel lines are identical. It means that assume this is a third order determinant which has two parallel lines as the same value b1, b2, b3, b1, b2, b3. If you expand by using a Laplace expansion, you will get a determinant as a 0. Also, they have given explanation as by corresponding to the last property. That means, if two parallel lines of determinants are interchanged, a del has a numerical value same but it changes the sign. Right? We have seen in this last property. By using that, now we are going to interchange second column to the third column. It won't change anything, right? Because both the columns are identical. Your del value will change the sign because you are crossing to only one column, right? So you will get a minus del value. So if minus del has been gone this side, you will get a 2 del, and 2 del is equal to 0, so del is equal to 0. This is a proof of that property. Okay. Now let us move on to the fourth property. Fourth, each element of the line is multiplied by a same factor. That means it can be a row or a column. It is multiplied by a value of k. Then that value could be taken common outside the determinant. Okay. We can see the correlation of the fourth property. If two parallel lines are identical which are equal multiples of the other, the line can be either a row or a column. Here I took an example for a column which is an equal multiples of a second column, right? PB1, PB2 and PB3. P can be of any value. So in the fourth property, as I already said that if a row or a line is multiplied by a common factor, we can take the common number out. So by taking the common number out, we will get a value of A1, A2, A3 with the two lines are equally identical. If two lines are equally identical, your determinant value would be 0. So the value of P of 0 will be equal to 0. So if a determinants have identical number of rows or identical number of columns, your determinant value would be 0. Okay. Now let us see about fifth property. If each element of the line consists of m terms, and the determinants can be expressed as a sum of the m determinants. That means we can see by using expressions. Let this be a third order determinant which has m number of terms. That means a third column line, a third column or a third line has a number of values like C1 plus D1 plus minus E1. How we can represent it as? Now we have to expand by using a Laplace expansion. First, we are taking the first element, eliminate that column and that row, we'll get a cofactor of A2, B3 and A3, B2. Okay. Now, the second element. The second element of the third column is C2 plus D2 minus C2. We have to change the sign, right? As I already discussed, first will be positive, next is negative and be positive. And taken as C2 plus D2 minus C2, eliminating that row and that column and that row, we'll get A1, B3 minus A3, B1. Okay, last element, A1, B2, A2, B1. Okay. Now, you have to expand separately of each term of column 3. Just a mathematical calculation, it would be easy to understand. Now, the first cofactor is multiplied with the element C1. So, C1 into A2, A3, B2, B3. Right? Next, it is multiplied with plus D1. D1, A2, A3, B2, B3. Okay. Next, again it is multiplied with minus E1. E1 into A2, A3, B2, B3. Similarly, we have to multiply the same procedure for the second element. We are having minus here. So, minus C2 will get A1, B1, A3, B3. Minus D2 will get A1, B1, A3, B3. Minus into minus plus will get us plus E2 of A1, B1, A3, B3. And the last element can be expanded as similarly C3 of A1, B1, A2, B2 plus D3 of A1, B1, A2, B2 and minus E3 of A1, B1, A2, B2. Okay. So while seeing this is a C1 element which has a cofactor of C1, A2, A3, B2, B3. Again, see the C2 element which has a cofactor of A1, A3, B1, B3. And again the last C3 element also has a cofactor of C3, A1, A2, B1, B2. So we can write separately each element by a separate determinants. Okay. This is the combination of m elements of third order determinant. It has been separated by each element has a third order determinant value. Okay. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. And again, if we see the D1 element, it has a cofactor of D1. It has a cofactor of D2. So we can make a separate for each element which has 3 elements together in a third column. C1 plus D1 minus C1. This can be used in a problem which has number of elements in it. Now let us move on to the topic of factor theorem, which is also one of the properties of determinants. If the elements of the del are the functions of x, that means the elements under the determinants are in terms of x and 2 parallel lines. These 2 parallel lines can be either a row or a column which are identical. Identical comes under the condition when x is equal to a. Okay. When x is equal to a, both the columns or both the rows will be identical. At that time your determinant would be 0, right? I think it is in the property of third. We have already seen if 2 parallel lines are identical, your determinant value would be 0. Here in the condition of factor theorem, we are considering if 2 parallel lines are identical at the condition when x is equal to a, your determinant value would be 0. So, your determinants would be in the function of x, right? So, at what condition the determinant comes under 0? When x is equal to a. So, x minus a would be the factor of determinant f of x. Okay? The condition where the determinant is 0 would be the factor of the determinant f of x. Now, let us see the last property of the determinant. It has been shown as if each element of the line can be added equal multiples of corresponding elements of one or more parallel lines. That means you can take an example of del which has a third order determinant which has 9 elements A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Considering the first column, it has been added with equal multiples of B1 and C1 columns. See in this property, We can take either a row or either a column. It can be added with equal multiples of a row or equal multiples of a column. It's up to you. Here I am taking the first column has been added with equal multiples of column 2 and equal multiples of column 3 has been subtracted. How that the determinant remains unaltered? We are after doing some changes in it. Let's see. We can expand it separately by using the fifth property. Right? In this, the first column has been equal multiples of B1 and equal multiples of C1 or added or subtracted to the first column. Right? Here it can be represented by using the fifth property as A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3 and C1, C2, C3. And the second determinant would be of PB1, PB2, PB3 and B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Okay. And the last determinant would be in the combinations of minus QC1, minus QC2, minus QC3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Now see this. This is an expression of a normal determinant in which we have considered, right? And the second and third determinant which we added or it is the equal multiples of other column which is already present in the determinant. If two columns are identical, either it can be equal multiples or directly identical, your determinant value would be 0. We have already seen in the property. Similar property is applicable here also. Here the first column is equal multiples of column 3. Your determinant value would be 0, right? So your determinant as del plus 0 for this determinant and another 0 for this determinant. Your determinant value would be same. Okay. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any doubt, please leave in the comment section. I'll respond to you. We'll see you in the next video.